Good evening again. My name is Yanki Shiring, and I am the Executive Director of Accompany Capital. I am delighted to welcome you to Accompany Capital's 10th Annual Immigrant Heritage Week Awards, and thank you for joining us to recognize and celebrate 5 people who represent the qualities of the theme of this year's program: resiliency, reopening, and revitalization. 2021 will go down in history as one that was extraordinary by any measure. The continuation of a global pandemic, global recession, turbulent elections, and deeply felt social and racial injustice. It was also a second year of heartbreaking loss of loved ones to the pandemic and disproportionate financial struggles of too many among us. Yet, despite moments of grief, anger, and anxiety, we have witnessed firsthand the generosity and compassion from individuals, foundations, and corporations. I'm grateful for some important lessons that I've learned. First, that nothing is certain. Second, the importance of appreciating good health, family, friends, and a stable and reliable government. For Accompany Capital, 2021 will always be a year which made us really think about our values and whether we could be doing more to uphold them and how we could respond to the urgency to heal the social, racial, and financial divide. 2021 also challenged the relevancy of Accompany Capital's mission and our response to our clients impacted by the pandemic. We are proud to have been part of the solution by working tirelessly, even if it meant our team working till 3 a.m. to meet the deadline for submitting critical PPP loans, as well as providing emergency loans, creating webinars on how to access relief and how to implement New York City's reopening guidelines. And most importantly, by being a source of reliable information and an empathetic ear to the challenge of New York City's micro and small business owners. I want to thank our team for their extraordinary dedication and focus during the most critical moment that we have faced. I was also heartened by how swiftly our board members moved to create a task force and be a sounding board to help us develop the best solutions to support our clients. Thank you to each one of you. We are honored this evening to share with you a special message from Commissioner Manuel Castro, the Commissioner of the Mayor's Office for Immigrant Affairs, an office whose important role is to support and facilitate the vital part that immigrants and refugees play and have always played in the economy, culture, and the community of this great city of ours.
Good evening, everyone. I am Manuel Castro, the Commissioner of the New York City Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs. And this evening, it is my pleasure to welcome you and thank you for joining the 10th Annual Immigrant Heritage Week Awards, hosted by our long-term partner, Accompany Capital. Just like the Mayor Office of Immigrant Affairs, Accompany Capital is committed to serve immigrant New Yorkers, more specifically, immigrant entrepreneurs, the backbone of the city's economy. Throughout the last 2 years, Accompany Capital has helped immigrant entrepreneurs to weather the effects of the pandemic by serving as a provider of trusted information about government relief for businesses and other critical resources. For instance, with the help of Accompany Capital, Yankee and her team have been able to secure $13 million in COVID-19 relief funds. These funds served as a pathway to recovery for all, helping businesses reopen, and in turn, revitalizing our city. These themes are exemplified by the awardees of tonight. And so, on behalf of my office, and on behalf of Mayor Eric Adams And of the City of New York, I want to say thank you and congratulations.
We want to thank Commissioner Castro for your message and your support. And thanks to your entire team for all their hard work to ensure that New York City's immigrants and refugees receive the resources and information they need to feel safe and thrive. We are also honored to have a special message from Commissioner Kevin D. Kim of New York City Small Business Services, a longtime close partner that critically provided interest relief for our clients during the pandemic.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin D. Kim, Commissioner of the New York City Department of Small Business Services. As the son of immigrant small business owners and a former small business owner myself, I understand the many challenges that small businesses face. So it is truly an honor to serve at SBS, where we provide so many services to help small businesses launch, operate, and grow. Immigrant businesses in New York City are the backbone of our economy, and their contributions to our economy cannot be underestimated. Did you know, for example, that nearly half of New York City's roughly 240,000 small businesses are immigrant-owned? And immigrants employ nearly 500,000 New Yorkers, contributing $195 billion annually to our city's GDP. I know that gaining access to capital is always a challenge for all small businesses, and that's why our partnership with Accompany Capital was so critical through the pandemic, when Accompany Capital was able to provide grants to nearly 200 clients. Most of them were immigrant entrepreneurs. This program helped to lift the burden of interest that inevitably grows on a loan. And I know that Accompany Capital also helped to provide loans and technical assistance to the small businesses that were getting turned away by banks. As the city continues to recover from the pandemic, we need partners like this to help us keep small businesses in business. So I really want to thank the team at Accompany Capital for all of their hard work. And I also want to congratulate all of today's awardees. I know that most of you work through SBS and our business solution centers, and I'm proud to learn of your ongoing successes and continuing contributions to our city. Congratulations on your well-deserved award tonight.
Thank you, Commissioner Kim, for your recognition of the important contribution that immigrant and refugee entrepreneurs make to New York City's economy. We look forward to continuing to work closely with the team at SBS. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Kwame Mafo, an entrepreneur, investor, and small business evangelist, as well as the chair of Accompany Capital Board of Directors.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome Commissioner Manuel Castro, Commissioner Kevin Kim, fellow members of the Board of Directors, Accompany Capital staff members, and all our guests to the 10th Annual Immigrant Heritage Week Awards, the second year in a row we're doing this virtually. Our theme this year is resilience, reopening, and revitalization. My name is Kwame Mafo, Chairman of the Board of Directors. Spring is in the air, literally and figuratively, after 2 years of start and go, lockdowns, reopenings, and everything in between. New York's hardworking immigrant and refugee entrepreneurs are famed for their resilience. However, they, like the rest of us, were not spared the ravages of the pandemic. Businesses folded, lives and livelihoods were disrupted, and sadly, some lives were lost. In the dark days of the pandemic, we had a difficult decision to make. Whether on one hand, to sit back as some lenders did and watch the chips fell. Some will argue this was a prudent approach. Or on the other hand, run head on into the raging inferno to provide much needed financial relief to our customers. As a mission-oriented lender, we felt duty-bound to do the latter in spite of the risks involved. The core of our pandemic response has been concluded for the second year, and the verdict is in. The picture, I must admit, is not too shabby. Now, here are the numbers. We extended over $7 million in loans. 81% of these loans went to immigrant and refugee entrepreneurs, with female entrepreneurs accounting for 43% of loans. The story even gets better. Despite lending to groups that are deemed risky by mainstream financial institutions, our loan loss ratio for the fiscal year 2021 was 0.03%. This is not a typo. These results were achieved not least due to the inspirational leadership provided by Yankee, with the support of our staff, under the watchful eyes of our board of directors, and with the unwavering support of our lenders. The biggest contributor to our success is our dynamic entrepreneurs whose success we celebrate here tonight. Thank you for keeping the city's economic engine on in those dark days, often at great risk to the health and well-being of yourselves and your families. Thank you for believing in us, and thank you for being. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I can't thank enough the staff of Accompany Capital who continue to work day and night and keep our lights on. And without whose efforts, tonight's event wouldn't be a success. Thank you very much for what you do. It is now my pleasure to introduce Francis Smith, Accompany Capital's Asset Development Specialist, who would introduce this year's first awardees.
Hello, everyone. For the past 18 years, I have had the pleasure of seeing refugees and their families graduate from our individual development account program after they have successfully saved money and attended workshops related to a personal goal, such as further education, career certification, home ownership, or starting a micro business. Once they have finished the workshops and successfully saved money, they are awarded a match grant to use toward the goal. Each person has their own unique story. Coming to the United States on their own or with their family, and working to achieve their professional and personal dreams. I have the pleasure of working closely with two women that you're about to meet. I have been inspired with their determination and focus, not only to achieve their dreams, but also to be able to contribute to the economy and the communities they live in. Please join me as we listen to their stories.
My name is Awa Jimari. I'm from the Ivory Coast. I help my African community when it comes to reading, writing, taxes, immigration, all of their needs. They all know about me. I started this business since 2014 in Harlem, and I moved up here to the Bronx in 2019. I was now looking for a store. I was looking for a business location. And a friend of mine was leaving, and here I am. When I first came and I applied for asylum, Francis from Accompany Capital helped me a lot getting the refugee grant because it was hard. Without Accompany Capital, I would not have the store. We are like one small mall. When you come in, you get everything you need. That's why, as described by the name, we say department store. Frances was laughing at me when she heard the name. She said, department store? That's Macy's. I said, I'm gonna be there one day. The first year, it was COVID time. It was not easy at all. We had to close for a couple months. It's still hard. And we're still struggling a little bit, but with the grace of God, I know it's gonna be better. The message I have for the world and the community is be free. Don't be afraid. I took a big step at risk, and it's worth it.
My name is Gulakova, and I am a board-certified behavior analyst. Back in Ukraine, I was working with children with Down syndrome and autism. So when I came here, I started working as a behavioral technician in the friendly face. I like to see the changes in kids' life. So when they came like nonverbal with a lot of behaviors, aggression or self-injury, and when they start like treatment, so it's going away like big problem behaviors, they started to talk. It's very motivating. In this area, there are a lot of Ukrainian families, so I'm happy to be here, because they just like, hey, we know the BCBA who speaks Ukrainian, and she can help, just like, and now we have like our own community. So I just decided to go back to school to become certified, just to help Ukrainian-speaking families and support kids with autism. And Accompany Capital helped me with a grant that covered part of my tuition, which was very helpful for me as I had to work full-time. I've been working since COVID started. Everything was closed, so we did like some telehealth services. So it was like very challenging for everybody. It was like, you never did this before, and then just like, what can you do with this child for 2 hours? And this child cannot even sit, and then you have to come up with different ideas and programs, to modify goals, adjust these goals. That's something that you can do during the teletherapy. So it's like the whole new experience. But it's a good experience because probably nothing can scare anymore. Sometimes I think I want to open like my own clinic, so that's probably something that I'm thinking about, maybe dreaming so far.
It is therefore my great honor to present the Accompany Capital New Beginnings Awards to Awa Dijimare and Julia Gulakova. Awa?
Hi, my name is Awa. I'm very honored and pleased to accept this award. And I thank you, Frances, and I thank Accompany Capital for believing in me and making my dream come true.
Congratulations, Awa.
Thank you.
Julia?
I want to thank you to Accompany Capital and Francis Smith for giving me this opportunity to participate in this event and for believing in me. And I'm really appreciate. Thank you so much.
Congratulations to you, Julia.
Thank you.
Great. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Accompany Capital's Chief Lending Officer, Leonid Otrowski.
Good evening, everyone. One of the most exciting things about my job is the opportunity to meet creative, entrepreneurial people who have moved to New York from all over the world, not only to start a new life, but also to start and grow small businesses. Today, we are celebrating not only their success and resilience, but the success and resilience of all immigrants and refugees who come to New York to create better lives for themselves and their families. When the pandemic struck, we quickly realized our usual way of underwriting and reviewing loan requests was not going to address people's immediate needs. So we decided to focus instead on providing low-cost loans and on helping our clients access grants, PPP loans, and debt and interest relief so that they could stay in business until New York slowly reopened. We are proud of the fact that in 2021, we made over $7.2 million in low-cost loans and provided over $13.5 million in COVID-19 relief to hardworking and deserving small business owners. Entrepreneurs who has just started the process of opening a business were uniquely challenged by the pandemic. They were stalled and had to find creative ways to keep covering their expenses until they were able to open and become fully operational. One such entrepreneur was Adele Cassin, who has now successfully opened his new business, Brooklyn Kebab House in Bay Ridge. His restaurant serves a mixture of Middle Eastern and American dishes and will have community events and catering space in the basement. And with his new business, Adele has created over 30 jobs. It is my great pleasure this evening to introduce Adele Cassin, winner of the 2022 Accompany Capital Job Creator Award.
My name is Adele Cassin. I represent Brooklyn Kebab on Fifth Avenue, King. They have supermarkets, delis, and I keep doing different things. I came here and opened the business in '97. The first halal food market in Bay Ridge. I was the only one in the block. Now Bay Ridge is 24/7. The pandemic hurt a lot of people. Everybody was thinking of running away. My brother passed away in Corona last year. I was, devastated. But the community helped. Everybody was giving out free food, free stuff, especially the Arabic community. They bring everybody together. And it's very difficult, but thank God, Accompany Capital finance us. I feel relaxed. We work around the clock, and we was stressed, and we didn't sleep for 2 days. We opened the first day of Ramadan. I want the Accompany Capital to visit the location and see what the community producing. The money is not going to waste. We serve over 2,500 people free food all day for the whole community. And everybody was so happy, and we have amazing food. Nobody have it in Brooklyn or New York City. The community is good to us, and we want to be good to them. Right now, we have over 70 workers between the two stores, over here and over there. I hope we'll succeed. When you produce something, and you know you could do something, you feel good inside of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor to present the 2022 Accompany Capital Job Creator Award to Adele Cassin here in his business in person.
It's a great honor to accept this gift from Accompany Capital. I want to thank all the staff of Accompany Capital for doing their parts, helping the community and helping the small business owner to get on with their business to stand up. And it's a pleasure to accept this gift. And I want to thank everyone. And I hope for everyone a success. And I look forward to work with everyone's. And I appreciate it for helping us and helping the community. It's not only helping us, it's helping the community, helping to bring jobs, and helping fixing the neighborhood. A clean neighborhood, a clean job. And I appreciate it, everyone.
Thank you, Adele. Thank you. Thank you. One of the many industries critical to New York's economy that was shut down by the pandemic was the fashion industry. While most of the design houses he worked with closed at the beginning of the pandemic, Vladimir Tiriochen whose company Astound Knit by Vladimir designs and creates knitwear collections for top designers like Ralph Lauren, as well as his own line, quickly moved to a home-based model. That way, Vladimir was able to stay in business and continue to employ his local knitters to produce orders for his private clients. He and his local team were also able to benefit from Accompany Capital's emergency loan fund to complete fall collections for Vera Wang, Pauline Dupre, and Julia Javits, as this important New York industry started to reopen. It is now my great pleasure this evening to introduce Vladimir Tiriochen, winner of the 2022 Made in New York Award.
My name is Vladimir Tiroghin, ex-professional ballet dancer from Bolshoi Ballet Academy School, moved to United States, and right now I'm working with fashion industry. This is cardigan, dress, jacket, skirt, what we did for Oscar de la Renta. Not just regular knitwear, more like high-end couture. It's not just take scissors and cut. It's really more hand craft work. It's impossible to knit by machine. I work with talented knitters. I learn from them. Звезда. Я же говорил звезда. They give me like direction and help me to think something differently than just normal. Нет, нормально. I start work with 4 ladies, then I hired 16. They stay with me, with our team, maybe 20 years. We're like family. Вот и свела судьба, вот и свела судьба, вот и свела судьба нас. During pandemic, it really was very difficult, I think, for all of us. But we stay, we survive. And really appreciated company support us. Special Accompany Capital and Leonid Otrowski, who tried to protect all our team during pandemic, and special what we have to do after pandemic to survive in different economy situation. New York – крыша мира. Для очень многих поколений этот город, эта страна дала нам шанс начать свою жизнь с нуля, с начала. Most important in the city, I met really good people. And that's why right now behind my back lots of refugees who I'm really like I can help them, I can support, I can give them more job. I strongly believe for the next few years we'll keep growing up. It's coming big, serious potential business in New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to present the 2022 Accompany Capital Made in New York Award to Vladimir Tiriochen. Congratulations, Vladimir.
Thank you. Hello for everyone. I wanted to thank Accompany Capital for including me among the other prestigious award winners. I'm honored to be recognized and receiving the annual Immigrant Heritage Award. I'm sure that every one of recipients of the award, just like myself, have worked very hard in New York City to rise and be recognized in the executive committee. I'd like to make a special mention of thanks to Yanki and Leonid Otrowski for their guidance, support, and timely advice to help me grow business in high fashion long time. Going forward, I look to their direction in letting me achieve even greater heights in the not too distant future. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Vladimir, again.
Thank you. You're very special for all of us.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Maria Polina, Accompany Capital Director of Women's Entrepreneurship Program.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us to celebrate Accompany Capital's Immigrant Heritage Week Awards and to honor some exceptional businesses. This year, I had the exciting and rewarding job of helping to establish Accompany Capital's Women's Entrepreneurship Program. So far, Accompany Capital has made over 2,000 loans, close to $70 million to women entrepreneurs. We are seeing a growing number of women, both native-born, foreign-born, approach us for loans, advice, and resources to start and grow their businesses. 2021 continued to be a difficult year for small businesses, but we moved quickly to help our clients benefit from COVID-19 relief options such as PPP loans and others. Many of our clients had to pivot and scramble to shift their businesses online, reinvent the business model, and find creative ways to get ingredients and materials for them to survive. One client who pivoted is Manal Kahi, the founder and CEO of Eat of Beat, a refugee-driven social enterprise that delivers authentic meals made by refugees who now call New York City home. When the pandemic hit, Manal and her team of chefs assessed the situation and decided to shift to home and office delivery options. They also determined that the best way to reassure the clientele that the food was safe was to create individual meal boxes and wrap and package for delivery. In that way, she and her chefs were not only able to stay in business during the pandemic, but also to attract a whole new group of customers. It is my great pleasure to introduce Manal Kahi, winner of the 2022 Accompany Capital Resilience Award.
My name is Manal Kahi. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Eat Off Beat. We are a social enterprise that delivers authentic meals that are entirely conceived, prepared, and delivered by refugees and immigrants who have recently resettled in the New York area. We started Eat Off Beat back in 2015. I had just recently moved to New York as a graduate student. I was surprised with how popular hummus is, but also very disappointed in the quality of the hummus I found in grocery stores. That's what gave me the idea that, hey, why not tap into the Syrian refugee community that's being resettled in New York City and try to really bring a much, much better hummus to New York. Then I started working with Kasim, for instance, who also happens to be my brother. We immediately thought, why not make it more global? Why not have refugees from all over bring all of those recipes that are so much better when they're homemade, when they're made by someone who knows what those flavors are like, what every single ingredient represents. The food industry is probably one of the hardest to be in, especially with everything that's been going on for the past few years. I believe the only reason we managed to survive is thanks to the resilience and the adaptability of every single person on the team. Every single one on the team has actually had to rebuild their lives 3-4 times over. They left their home countries, spent some time in a camp, maybe detention centers, learned a new language, sometimes 2 or 3 different languages, changed jobs. So asking them to rebuild a whole business from scratch was not going to scare them. And that's really what we did. Ultimately, for us, it's all about changing the narrative around refugees, around immigration. It's a story where refugees are the heroes. We're not asking for help. We are the ones helping.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to Manal Kahi 2022 Resilience Award. Congratulations, Manal. And Leonid, if you want to add congratulations for your client, please do so. And then we would like to hear a message from Manal, who has some exciting news to share with us today.
I was just trying to text it, but I will say it. To me, I'm proud to be part of this great team to make so many changes in our clients' life and enable them to make, to do what they do. And because they think 24/7 about their businesses. Manal and her brother, I had to call them many times, sign the documents, but they are working and thinking of business. So it's a great pleasure and honor to be of service to you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Leonid. Thank you, Yankee. Thank you to the entire Accompany Capital family, basically, for supporting us as a business from the day we started. Actually, you've always been a great supporter to us. You've been a customer. And I want to thank you not just for this award, but for most importantly, all of the support that you've provided. Leonid, you've mentioned all of these calls. Yankee, earlier you mentioned that the team works even sometimes at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. I've actually gotten calls from Leonid very late into the night saying, Manal, I need this paper right now. We need it tonight so we can meet the deadline tomorrow. Or he wanted to make sure that we had all of the paperwork ready, and that we never found anywhere else, not in any of the banks we've worked with, any of the commercial banks, any of the other institutions that we've tried to secure the PPP through. Accompany Capital has actually not only given us or helped us get actually loans and grants and money in our account, but you've provided it with a very humanistic approach that we, again, I say it again, we were not able to find anywhere else. As a company that tries to bring the human approach back to food, to kind of connect our customers with our chefs who prepare our food on a personal level, I can attest how important that is. As a business owner myself who has received this kind of support, I cannot say how grateful I am and how confident I am in the way you are operating and in how you will still be able to provide it to so many more businesses, refugees, entrepreneurs, immigrants, and the wider New York community. I am inspired by everyone else who has won awards tonight. Awe, Yulia, Adele, Vladimir, it's all really inspiring stories. Everyone mentioned wanting to pay back to their communities. That was really striking to me. I want to say that is something that I hear very often among our chefs too. When this pandemic started, there was a week where we had to decide whether we close or not. And our chefs they immediately said, no, we have to be here for New York. New York was there for us when we needed it most. Today, we have to be here to cook for New York when the city needs us most. That is something that I think is very common in all of our chefs, probably in most refugees who come in, most immigrants who come in. Obviously, this award is about resilience. And I've said it in the video, I want to reiterate it again. We would not have made it through the pandemic as a business had it not been for the resilience of every single person on our team. I want to make sure to say it again, this award is probably for them more than it is for me. It wouldn't have been possible for us to survive. I'm glad we're still here. We are, however, our fight is not over. The post-pandemic world is just as challenging than the pandemic world itself. We do have a good news though. Thank you for introducing that, Yankee. We're opening at the Chelsea market very soon. So please do visit us there. We should be open around June, early June. So we hope to see everyone there so that you can taste our food and meet our chefs. And thank you again.
Don't forget about us if you need more funds.
I might.
Leonid, always eager to make a loan. Yeah, thank you so much, Manal. And, thank you for your generous appreciation for all the people who work for you, all the refugee chefs, for your kind words about Accompany Capital. And if you could stay on video, I'm looking to Nicole and Catherine for instructions. So behind the scenes, I also want to thank Nicole Mask, Senior Manager of Communications and Development, who developed the program along with Catherine Ventura, our consultant. So we're going to stay on for a few more minutes and take some questions. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give our board chair, Kwame Mafo, the honor of asking the first question. So over to you, Kwame.
Thank you, Yankee. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, entrepreneurs. It's been an absolute delight hosting everyone tonight. And so wanted to use this as an opportunity to interact and learn from you and share experiences. So the first question tonight, I guess Manal, since you're the last person that spoke, can you share with us two things I'd like to know from you? Sounds to me you've demonstrated quite a bit of resilience. I'd like to get a sense of what are some of the most formidable failures you've encountered, and how did you draw on your resilience to overcome that experience? So that's my first question. And I will be greedy by asking the second one. You seem to have been very adaptable in the height of the crises. I would like to get a sense of which of the changes you made to your business during the pandemic are you likely to keep going forward as we sort of navigate our way through the post-pandemic era. Yeah, so over to you, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you for your question and for hosting us tonight. So I'll answer the first part on kind of the challenges and how we've faced them. I'm going to say, I mean, obviously the pandemic was one of our biggest challenges to date. It kind of threatened us to our core because obviously we lost 100% of our revenue in almost a week. But what does, and it's been, I mean, I don't think I need to tell you, it's an audience that probably is familiar with how challenging that was. But I think to me, personally, the only thing that kept me going through all of that is every time I would go into the kitchen, see our chefs, see their smiles, even despite the masks that were hiding everyone's faces, you can still see everyone's eyes and see those smiles and really the love that was put into every single dish that went out of our kitchen. And I think that is generally really what kept me going through all of that challenging time. For the second question about changes and what will stick with us after the pandemic, basically, one of the major, so again, we've lost 100, we were primarily a corporate catering company. So when the pandemic hit, companies closed, there was no more catering per se. That's why we lost 100% of our business practically overnight. So what we did is we took our best sellers from catering, we repackaged them, we repurposed them, we put them in a box, and we started delivering those boxes directly to our customers at home instead of going to the office or instead of serving them at their offices. That is a change. Today, we still have a meal box program. We actually have a subscription program where individuals can subscribe to for our monthly deliveries. And that is something that we plan on keeping after the pandemic. That also switched from the B2B segment, from business to business, to a direct to consumer segment or B2C business. That's also what led us to start our space at the Chelsea market. We now have a connection directly to our customers instead of going to their offices, basically. We want to keep that going, and that is the spirit of why we're starting at the Chelsea market. So that's really what we will continue doing, hopefully in the next few years.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Manal. And I have a question here for Vladimir. Vladimir, if you can unmute yourself. So the question is, Vladimir, so wonderful you found a way to continue to employ your knitters during the pandemic. How many knitters do you employ? While we're waiting for Vladimir, oh, there's Vladimir.
Yes.
Did you hear the question?
Can you please repeat question?
Okay. So the question someone in the audience has for you is, firstly, they have a comment. So wonderful that you found, Vladimir, you found a way to continue to employ your knitters during the pandemic. How many knitters do you employ?
Right now, I have 20 very nice knitters lady with good experience, and I'm always looking for help, always appreciated support and kindness, and because we have really good, strong team, professional. Because many Americans, they're looking for help, like more like hand knit work, and I'm always open to hire more and more knitters who will be not just Russian, Ukrainian, Albanian, beautiful lady from Africa and other country. I'm really appreciated if they will be. I'll be very honored to work all of them. If they need help, I'm ready to show them more technical skills and help.
Thank you, Vladimir. So. Kwame, would you like to ask the next question? I don't know if you can see the questions in the chat section. If not, I can go ahead and ask Awa. There's a question for Awa. It says, Awa, can you hear me?
Yes.
So Awa, everyone's really impressed with how much you do. You know, you seem to have several businesses. So the question is it hard for you to manage both a business service and a shop from the same location? Because earlier when we were speaking to you also, I was amazed because you have your consulting work, filling out forms, and then you also have your big store. So how do you manage?
I'm able to manage both businesses by working long hours and also knowing my clients and their needs. So if you know them with their needs, you can provide them the best service of your knowledge. And not forget my family, who helped me a lot and their sacrifices, knowing the work I'm doing, the type of job, the type of client, the challenges. It's amazing. And I thank them for understanding my needs and my goal, helping others.
Thank you. So Kwame, are you ready with the next question, or should I just refer to the list of questions from the audience?
Yes, sorry, I'm just seeing that now. So the next question goes to Adele. The question is, how is business going after the terrific opening?
Thank you for asking. It's not bad. For grand opening, we doing so far so good, and I like the way it's going. You know, you could see we only opening right now because of Ramadan. We're opening from 4 p.m. to 12 midnight. We're not open full time. After Ramadan, we will open full time and we will know what the business is like. But right now, we just open part times, you know, doing what we got to do. But so you know, it's very crowded and, you know, the opening time from 4 to 9 o'clock. We serve about 200-300 people sometime.
Mm-hmm. So there's a second part to the question, Adele. Leonid, if you want to repeat the question.
We actually discussed it. We just discussed quickly. So I was asking if there is any signature dish, maybe special family recipe that is only available at your restaurant. And here is what Adele get to say about it.
It's a simple Arabic standard recipes, but there is a catch to it, which we have a professional cook. He will not give us the recipe yet, but we have a deal with him. And I have Turkish, I have Arabic, I have, you know, too many different guys working over here. It's not only Arabic recipe. We have some pizza. We have some pizza nobody have. And this is the recipe I get from my friends. And I cannot say who it is. And
secret recipe.
And we actually experienced that atmosphere when we attended soft opening, and it was incredible. You saw it, guys, in the video. And that chef, he's like a Hollywood chef. He likes to pose and show off in a good sense. So we caught that moment, and the special dishes that spinach pie, small spinach pie that is very colorful. So, and the food is great. So we tried it, and it's just.
Yeah, there's a question from the audience saying, what are the green boats, meaning the pies with the green in the middle?
I think this is a spinach pies. Manal will explain. You know, it's the recipe is from her country, and she very well knows like the falafel, the spinach pie, the za'atar, and all that.
Mm-hmm. So we have go ahead.
I hope you guys could visit the place yourself, and I invite everybody to come.
Thank you. Yeah, Manal, did you want to make a comment?
I was just gonna say I can't wait to come and try those fatayr. Is it fatayr, Adel?
Yes.
So it's one of my favorites. It's spinach. It's healthy. It's vegan. It's one of the best appetizers.
As a homemade, is made by a Syrian woman. You know, she worked with us, and they doing that.
Real New York business, like the blend of cultures.
Mm-hmm. So I have one more question, and it's for Ulia. It says, Ulia, so lovely that you work with children. Is your work changing now that COVID restrictions are being lifted? Can you see them in person? So is Ulia still with us?
Yes, yes. Yes, definitely. It's now we're back to social skills group, and kids were locked basically like in one-to-one setting for so long, and they were all struggling for some communication with peers. And finally, we are back to social skills on Saturday, where kids can improve in their play skills and communication skills and peer interaction. So of course, it's good to see that kids are making progress, not only in behavior, but also like in social and communication skills. So yes, we are happy that finally we are back to normal.
Yes. And I hope that when Ulia is ready to start her business, that she'll come to Accompany Capital, because I know eventually that's one of your goals, to start your own business. So that would be great.
Thank you so much.
And continue to work with you. So I'm going to turn and see to our board chair. So Kwame, do you have any more questions?
I have a fun question, Yankee.
Yes.
So I've also been an entrepreneur myself, and I do recognize the importance of having a balanced approach to doing things. So I'd like to know from any of the panelists, what do you do for fun outside of work?
I try to exercise as much as possible. The chefs keep feeding me at the kitchen, so I have to, I have to spend that energy somewhere and those extra calories. So that's definitely my go-to.
So Awa, what do you do for fun? It's no time.
Fun? I don't have fun.
Well,
my fun is running in and out between businesses. When I don't have nobody in the office, I'm in the shop. So I'm in and out. That's all I can do.
Yeah, what about you, Ulia? I know Ulia has a young family. Do you have time for fun?
No, to be honest, not like, so I try to accumulate some hours like I did for this weekend, and just because my son has a spring break. But normally I always need, I don't have enough hours during the night and day because I either work or I also have a lot of like paperwork, like writing reports for the insurance companies, which is also time consuming. So I need more, I need more hours.
So I think, Kwame, we have to do something, because our entrepreneurs also need to have time to have fun. So
absolutely,
it's very important.
That should be a criteria to get loans approved. We need to ensure they have a little more fun besides, the daily grind of, trying to satisfy the customer needs and, filing paperwork and what have you. But it looks like we are getting to the top of the hour. Should we wrap up, Yankee? Or
yes,
are we...
Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. And again, congratulations to all our honorees, Manal, Adele, Awa, Ulia, Vladimir. Thank you for joining us. I think your stories are incredible and inspiring. And hopefully next year we can meet in person. And please follow us on social media, like and share our posts. And thank you again. And if Leonid or Francis or Kwame have any more final comments, please go ahead.
I want to thank Accompany Capital team that makes it possible. It's not just one person or one loan officer. That's a teamwork, and everybody's working really hard. Thank you, Kwame, for your advice and concern sometimes. It's a great team that I've been part of for a long time. And thank you, Yankee, for your leadership. And
thank you, Leonid, for your kind words. And I don't know if Maria Luisa Gambal is watching, but she helped us with the videos. Thank you. And thank you again to Nicole Mas and Catherine Ventura, who are behind the scenes making us look great. Thank you and good night. And next year, we hope to meet in person. Good night.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.